Hey guys, welcome back to Factorio. Now, in this episode, we have a little bit of work to get done. The big thing is we clearly need green science, literally because we've researched everything that we can. I love this art, that's like really nice. Um, so I think the first step I'm going to do, part of me really wants to tear down all of this, but I think that's sort of what I'm trying to avoid in this run. Clearly I will have to move at least a good amount of this, because we basically need to move to electric miners because they're just clearly better. We're going to need to do a lot more power stuff, and then we're going to need to get some real smelting going. So, okay, we have electric labs now. In order to get the green science, the key things we're going to need are automated transport belts and automated inserters. Transport belts are similar to normal, but we also have single cylinder engines. Just plates and gears, okay. So it's like normal, but with extra stuff. Okay. And then we do get the choice of these electric circuit recipes. Theoretically, going for stone makes more sense because stone comes out of an ore patch. I don't think this mod adds any greenhouse or any automatic way to get wood, so it's probably not ideal to build it based on the wood recipe. Although I think you could just switch it over if you had to. But for now, I think I'll just deplete my stone. And there are tons of rocks with the alien biomes mod anyway. So it's probably not too large of a problem. Speaking of large problems, I totally forgot about all that pollution. Alrighty. The question is where exactly to begin. We do have... Okay. I like the ammo. Basically everything here is going to have to go away. And we're going to need probably a lot more power. So we currently have 2 of these. And 2 of these with very little. I mean, it's doing okay. 4 megawatts. Each of these takes 90 kilowatts. I cannot really do that math, but if you had like, what, 100 of those, you would be in a pretty bad problem. So to start this off, most of this power is probably fine. This is fine. We're going to want more electric mining drills. I do have a lot of these burner drills. Well, clearly we need to sort of just save up resources. So what I'm going to say is we don't need the red science right now. And belts, we can live without belts. We can probably live without these. I did recently get the Glove 80 keyboard, so I'm adapting to my new layout for the gaming layer that I have. But otherwise, it's a really nice keyboard. I'll probably make some video about it at some point. I think we'll just go ahead and tear down all of the lab stuff. I'm also definitely getting used to the trackball. You see that instead of just walking to delete things, I can more precisely just delete it, and it's pretty good. It's still nice. I mean, no matter what you use, in this game, it's pretty often that you'll just, like, hold a button. You'll hold right-click and just walk. Game's really good for that. I also don't think we need any of these. We can easily recreate this if we have to. I do want to avoid the temptation to simply erase everything. But we also don't have that much. It's still supposed to be spaghetti, though. This. Okay, let me grab this little tree because I feel like it. Having that steel axe upgrade is really nice. Okay. Because we have this inserter mod, we can do things a little differently than I might usually, because we can force them to go onto different sides of the belt, which is really nice. Okay, we don't need any of this either. I bet our inventory is just full of junk, but that's fine. I'll leave the chests. The question is how to make a spaghetti base, but make it at least a little expandable. Because remember, this is just a starter base. This is not supposed to be, you know, have this crazy main bus or anything like that. So I think, in fact, maybe I will do a main bus sort of base, but it's going to be very minimal. So it would be something like 2 lanes of, well, maybe like 3 lanes of iron and 1 lane of copper or something. I don't know exactly what the recipes would be. Especially now that we actually would need less iron because electric circuits don't take any. So it would probably be like 2 iron, 1 copper, and 1 stone. That would probably be enough, I'm guessing. And if it's not, well, it's not that big of a deal. But we're clearly going to need a stone smelter going. And then we'll have to craft it. It looks like crafting will be quick. You'll get 4 in half a second, so that shouldn't be a bottleneck at all. Don't know what we'll need glass for yet, but at least for the green science, this will be fine. So I'll want to take all of these. This will all be a bunch of miners. Some of these are going to need filter splitters to sort of separate the components. And given the map, I definitely kind of just want to build down. So it's usually, I mean, it's sort of like your average waterfall base, I guess, where you would just trickle your ores straight down into some furnaces, into your furnace stack, and then into like a main bus. Hard part is the fuel, but it should be easier now that we have the good inserters. Oh yeah, that's a problem. I want to keep... The iron should at least stay for a little while. Copper, though. Copper in the fuel line. These are not needed. And then we'll have to just expand electricity as needed. But let's... I want to have tons of extra room. Okay, how many? We have 7, so we're clearly going to need a lot more stone. Yeah, about that. Okay, we do have some stone. Okay. Just craft up a ton of these furnaces. And do we even... We must have steel unlocked, too. Alright, so the main bus is going to need to be something along the lines of 2 iron, 1 copper, 1 stone, 1 steel. At least to start. Means 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe if... I don't think we'll need a fuel line on the bus. Okay. I cut down tons of trees. I'll have to empty my inventory as we build. I guess I'll just build over here. It's already more clear. Just break down these. I don't know. I could do the tried and tested. I think I'm going to try a new furnace layout now that... Yeah, I'm going to do something interesting that I wouldn't normally do, but because I have these inserters that can insert to both sides of the belt, I'm not going to do like a symmetric furnace stack. Actually, I will keep this going so that this still has fuel, because I'm definitely going to need iron. We're going to need a lot of long arm inserters too. The good thing is we're using all of those burner inserters, so it's not a waste. Same thing with the burner drills. That is really nice, because otherwise you just sort of put them in a chest for the rest of the game. I don't know what this is, but it's so strange how when it's out of fuel... Is this in the base game, or is that a mod that makes it, like, such that dead inserters will move a little bit just so they can't get stuck? It's kind of nice, but it's kind of weird at the same time. Alrighty. Probably should prioritize inserters. Okay. Cancel some of those stack inserters. Because we're definitely just going to need normal stuff. What I'm picturing... Let's make the rightmost one, because we have tons of room to go that way. So this should sort of be the rightmost. And this can be the copper, I guess, since the copper is the rightmost. Or this will be the output lane of copper. I'll worry about the rest later. Now we'll basically just need 48 furnaces in a row, but to start... I don't know, 4? 4 is a good start. And what I'm imagining is we just have a lane of ore and then a lane of fuel. And then we'll have another lane of ore and then the next furnace stack so that they can share the fuel. So we'll use long inserters in order to get the fuel into here. Okay, one problem will be powering, but I think with undergrounds, I can just use these small ones. And it should be fine. Now, I probably want the fuel. I like to... what I tend to do is I tend to put inserters like this on the inside, just for whatever reason. It's just sort of how I like it. Sometimes it makes it easier to power things. So I think I'll make the fuel ones be on the outside. Should be able to just replace that. No, I can't. Okay. And then I'll just have to do some fancy underground belting. This would be copper ore. This would be, I don't know, iron ore. And then this would be fuel. And then these can all just output onto the belt. And every other one can be, what is it, Control F? That's not Control. Oh, I moved it. Wait. Oh, I'm not hitting F. I'm hitting A. That's my problem. Okay. You'd think it wouldn't be this hard. Oh, no, I'm just stupid. All right, so to fuel, well, to power all of these, I guess I'll just do something like this. And then the belt, you'd have inserters, belt, and then power. And this would be stackable. Bring that down, that's fine. And it's on the second one. So I think with these small power poles, it'll have to be something like this. And now this is going to use a lot of undergrounds, but that should be fine. And as long as the long one can reach it, that's good. And then these will just go 48 down. This is a lot of room to leave in between, but that's probably for the best. That's one of the problems I have in my bases, is I don't leave enough room between these various sections, and that's part of why I have to like tear it down to rebuild. Whereas if I just leave a ton of room between these ore miners and the furnaces, then hopefully I won't ever need to move it, and I can just leave it as part of the starter base. So this will be our lone copper line. I think I can probably route the coal, or the fuel line. I'm definitely gonna need more fuel though. Fuel processors I'll leave as is. Power generation. Let's just double it for now. Double it and give it to the next person. Oh, I don't want to go on the copper. And the middle is going to be brought up here. We're obviously going to need this to be split so that it can go to the next one. There we go. That will bring the fuel in. In fact, I'm just going to not build these right now. If I need them, I'll make them later. That fuel line will eventually drain out, at least a little. And it will keep giving us iron. Let's just make some more inserters, because we're definitely just going to need them. And if I'm doing nothing, I may as well be crafting. Look at those wacky arms. So that will keep these fueled. And this will slowly, eventually fill up a belt. I think we could probably start bringing down copper ore. I guess. But we'd first have to actually start mining it. We do have all of these, but they're simply just worse. This belt is probably at least a little bit in the way. One, two... I want it to be one lower so that I can reach this. It's always hard to sort of plan, which is why it's probably ideal to just make a blueprint that does this for me. And I'd probably want to build in this awkward region first. I guess. For now, I'll just run some power poles up here, and that will just be temporary. Bring this down, and then we're obviously going to need a splitter. On the left, I want copper. And yeah, we're not going to have... We don't actually have a place for the iron yet, but eventually we will. The iron should probably just actually be a symmetric one since there's two of them, so I'd say this one should be stone. Since it's another solo. And then the steel is going to have to be like its own thing. And this actually is in a perfect place for this. Just need to wait for more mining drills. Okay, we just have to make 108 copper cables. Of course. May as well hand mine some stone, I guess, to get more furnaces. Let's check the map. Yep, because we're not generating any chunks. There's no biters attacking us from the void. So I don't want to walk too far north. Otherwise they'll find us. But soon we'll be able to get some radars. And we'll definitely need some turrets. But we may as well wait on that. There's no rush. I don't need anything outside there anyway. Here we have those generators. Tons of fuel on us, and eventually these will be made. Funny enough, this is... I think what these do is they sort of just pick one for a while, and then they switch, which is why we're getting a ton of iron. And eventually, I mean, it's going to have to go this way, so I can get this made while we're waiting. We'll also need the stone brick line out here. Control F. Nope, this is control. Simple things. And this one needs a long inserter. Okay. It's coming along. Our power is certainly being used by those electric mining drills, so we're definitely going to have power issues, but that's the whole point of this game, right? You work on one thing and then you get limited by another. Oh, we had a little bit of copper in here. These will have to go for 48 furnaces down, which is going to be fun. So right now, even if I added all of these, that would just be 34. We do have some more mining drills now. Let's work on the stone. Especially because I mean, no, this whole thing has to just go away. Now, I want to dump this fuel. Take the... Ooh, look at that. Nice mix. So I think one of them went to one and one went to the other. Well, that helped a little bit. There we go. Let that copper go through. They are on one side of the belt, which isn't great. That's okay. Working our way up. Let's work on the stone, like we said. Similarly, this is probably going to need a filter on it. Means we're going to need more splitters. I'll split it out to this side so I can add it in. Left stone. Let's just make a handful more without ruining ourselves. Could definitely use like a same lane belt balancer for this, but in fact, it might fix itself since these will be coming from this side. I don't want to go too much into the iron. but I think I will a little bit, because these will be the main iron mines, at least for a while, just so I can get rid of this annoying section. Like, even this, I want just an extra one here. Something like this, and then we just have to power it. I'll power it straight down, I guess. That's fine. I've definitely built worse things than this. Nowhere to put that yet, but now should be working. Okay. Next, we really need to just duplicate this. Get the iron going. That's gonna be the most important one. I've never done a furnace in this design, but we'll see how it goes. So far, I think it's just interesting. I don't think it's that vastly different from the one I usually make, but it's nice. It's gonna be tall, that's for sure. Alrighty, now it's just the fun inserter game. We get the long hands in too for the fuel, and then we'll have to bring the fuel over. This is the reason that they don't have long hands replace normal, because if you're trying to build something like this, then you would just keep destroying yourself. So even though sometimes it's useful, I can see why they don't. Let's use that full length, and then this will bring the fuel in. We are going to have 2 lanes, so that's the wrong side. One can come in this way, and the other can come in this. Okay, whoops. That will help. And you see, because these mining drills are mostly adding iron from that side, and these are adding to the other, it's almost like it's auto balancing, which is kind of nice. Wow, the stone and copper definitely filled up pretty quick. The other alternative is I could also bring these belts up and over, and then it wouldn't matter how low they get. Because one of the problems I have is I have to start building the main base underneath where these would end when they're full. Which means I have to know where 48 furnaces ends. Oh, and I need to, let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm learning. Okay. Trust me, it's harder than you think it should be to press Control F on my keyboard. Specifically on this crazy gaming layer I have. For one thing, QWERTY is shifted to ESDF instead of WASD, so that it's like centered. It's sort of just, you know, if you're interested in that, I've made videos about my keyboards, but I don't really want to drone on about that in this video. Okay. Fill that up, get this out of my inventory. I don't care if it's not evenly distributed, it's fine. And I guess I'll do the same thing with the fuel. Yeah, that's fine. We have all this iron coming in. Which means our previous iron thing is like not that important anymore. We're clearly limited. Let's see, how's our power? Power's half already, and we barely have enough of these. I'll continue on this awkward combination area. We could probably add a few more. Definitely going to need to automate these, simply because they just take way too long. In the normal game, you can kind of get away with just doing it by hand, but here it clearly just is not feasible. Which is probably good, because otherwise I would just keep hand grafting them for the rest of the game. We are going to run into the problem of our iron getting stuck if we have our stone output full, and vice versa, but that's okay. We'll deal with that as it happens. That's just temporary based on the way we're mining it. I mean, I could just add this line in, but it's probably for the best that I just don't. Let's just get rid of it, craft these into electric ones, and expand it. So this isn't really needed anymore. I don't think I even want these burner inserters pinned. Like, I don't think I'm going to use them much anymore. So let me move this over. Eventually I'll do fast inserters, but for now we literally just don't need them. We have plenty of these, so let's say 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Oh boy. 24. And this is... oh my god, that's 24? Yeah, maybe this furnace idea is not ideal. There's a reason that we make them symmetric. But I mean, it will work. I'll just have to put everything much lower. That's crazy. I mean, if they were steel, they wouldn't have to be as much. And that's just to get one full belt of throughput. That's a lot. That's so many. And let's see, if I do this... yeah, 24, clearly. If I zoom out... Q. Well, the water is going to be a bit of a problem. That might be. I don't have... do I have landfill yet? No. Well, I mean, it's not like I have to actually max it yet. But it's basically like I just have to build my whole base south of this. Which means this sort of region. Yeah, this is definitely a good decision making this thing this tall. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, this design is interesting. I mean, I haven't done that much. I could definitely... I'll do the other design. 48 tall is just crazy. 24 tall is much easier. I basically just have to rip most of this out. This belt can stay, but it's going to become an input belt. That can sort of stay. The fuel is going to be different. It's always good to just tear down everything that you've done. That's always fun. It'll also just make it sort of easier to build, except for the input, because I don't need to worry about those inserters being on the right side of the belt. This will eventually give us a full belt of throughput for copper. It's definitely overkill to build the whole thing right now, but I need at least one that's like roughly the right height. And that will be way better. I can start building much closer. Okay, so actually getting the fuel and the input in is a different story. There's a few different ways to do it. I'm sort of a fan of this kind of design. I guess fuel... I will need a splitter, so actually this is the right height, I think, if fuel comes in this way. Basically, this comes out this way. And then it just continues that way. So the fuel belt can be shared. I'll worry about that after. But the input belt can just run to here, and then... Need tons of inserters. I'm definitely not adding inserters to all of these yet, because it's just a pain. And we just don't need them. Okay, how are we going to power this? I'll do it a different way, I think. Something like this. And that is on... If these have inserters... I need to actually just build them so I can see. This was... Oh, this is in the wrong place. It'd have to be the upper one. Which means... I need to just put them really close together. Which is fine, but that's just how it is. Because these poles are horrible. But this is much closer to just a standard furnace design. I mean, even this, I could have brought the height down if I put the... If I use more undergrounds. It doesn't really matter. The top can be reworked at any time. But as you can see, we actually have output. Okay. Now let's clear this out of the way and then work on stone. And 2 iron, and maybe I'll get a steel going, because getting any amount of steel stuff would be nice. At least just having a small furnace set up for it would be good. Yeah, I'll have to destroy this whole fuel line all the way back to the start. To here. Which means actually these don't need undergrounds anymore. That's an improvement. I'll also need to dump out all these ores into the furnaces. I wonder how long it would take to mine an entire, like, mega base by hand and just tear the whole thing down. I wonder if anybody's done that. I mean, probably, but that would take so much time. Oh, that's the wrong button. That should get rid of all of it. Yep. Nice. And we can then share the power poles. I could just copy the blueprint, I guess, but without bots, having a blueprint's kind of not that helpful. Especially if I can just see the thing. I mean, that's what I say now, but maybe I'll end up getting it wrong in some way. Of course, since this is odd and this is even, I decided to put this on the right. Doesn't really matter, but I like consistency. I could just bring it in on the lower one, and that would probably save me hassle. Similarly here. Oh. Like a few of those. We do still have some more belts in a box. and we're probably gonna need those. The fuel line will keep going. Okay, that's clean. Just take that. It's a good thing we crafted those. I'm not going to do the whole thing again, just to get a footprint. And we'll be able to expand it as we need it, which is the good point. I also I used to have a thing, I think when I used to play, I tended to upgrade every single inserter to fast inserters because it's like, you know, well, it's really fast. But I find when it comes to like a yellow belt speed mining setup, you simply just don't need to. And these slower inserters are going to use less electricity, so it's kind of just smart to just keep using them. Like in this scenario, the only benefit of fast or stack inserters is when the belt fills up and these fill up the slot all the way to like 100, then yeah, that will empty it faster. But it's still going to provide one belt of output, so it doesn't really matter. Wait, am I? No, I am putting the right one in. Okay, I was so confused. Dump out even more. Beautiful. Bring this belt most of the way down, which is probably further than it needs to go. We're definitely going to be running out of these as we're working. Okay, the most important one. Let's go. What I wouldn't give to have a bot network right now. It's honestly fine. I could have had bots at the start if I wanted to, but I turned that mod off because I think it just facilitates my problem. This goes up and this will go over. This can go 4, but for the way it looks, I think it looks better if it just goes 3. This is good. It needs a splitter. Uh-oh, I need that. Should be fine. I shouldn't even have to clear the belt because the inserters are going to pick them up for me. No, because it's going to grab from the near side. That's okay. Now this, I'll take one of these and bring it into this. And the next one is going to just be on the side. It's really this long belt here that's the reason why we're going to need all these extra belts. But yeah, this is going to look pretty nice. Just simple furnaces next to each other. I'm totally guessing on like the belt numbers that we need, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Because again, it's not going to be perfect throughput. It's just something so that we can get most things done. And if we need more, we'll bring it in the side awkwardly and spaghetti things around the base if we have to. It's not going to be perfect, so there's no point worrying. Whoops. And then the steel is going to be interesting. The ratio's the same. It is. Then I don't have a good idea of a steel furnace in my head. I do have furnace feeding into other furnace, which could be good. But I don't know if it will ultimately be good. And I think I can get the inner one to be fueled. Let me do a quick experiment. Because we have this mod that lets burner inserters leach fuel, normally what you would do is you would have 2 belts or something and you would have fuel on one half and the output on the other. But I don't think I need to do that if I do this, but then I also have this. Because I think if I drop fuel on here, and now I will need to power this. How did I mess that up? If I power this, I should have just gone straight down. Yeah, you see? Oh, in fact, it looks like it works with the normal inserters too. Which I don't believe is the case in the base game. I believe that is working with... It must be working with that mod that leaches fuel. So that's great, because it means you have new designs that weren't previously possible. And they're just simpler. It's just a lot simpler, and so that's going to be good. In terms of throughput, though, I think you usually need, like, 2 whole iron belts of input to have a whole output belt. I don't really want to do the math, especially right now. I'll do a quick amount, though. So 5 iron plates, 16 seconds. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's just a lot. That's what it is. And I have used Factorio calculator in the past, but I don't think that really works if I'm making a video. Like, obviously I could pause, obviously I could edit. Where's the fun in that? Sounds like a lot of work to me. Okay, bring in the other iron. All that means is I just have to plan the steel to have extra room around it so that I could bring in another input, potentially, if I need to. You almost out of inserters? Yeah. Oh, we had just enough for this, so that's nice. Let's bring these all the way down. I think we could probably wait on the steel, because we really need more... We need things automated at this point, and we have belts of input. So we really should just get working. Now, we obviously want to avoid all this water. So we'll just have to go this way. I think I can probably have some electric circuit stuff over here on the water side. That might be risky, but we can always add more if it's not enough. And I'm going to do it in about the stupidest way possible, just to keep things simple. But yeah, let's just try and go... Yeah, this is sort of an awkward location. I could try and just go left, and then that would literally bring me to oil. Which sounds like a good decision. So I think I'll just make the main bus go to the left. Gonna have to clear out a little bit of area. There really are a lot of rocks in this mod. But free stone is free stone. Especially in this, with these mods, the stone's more important. Okay. So let's put the copper about here. Copper and stone. Let's just leave a 2 gap, I guess. I don't know, 4 gap. Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 of these, and then eventually we'll have a steel. We'll probably put a single line of electric stuff on here. There's no belt balancing, there's nothing. We'll worry about it when we come to it. Yeah, I can't reach that. At least we have water down here, because what that means is we could potentially move our power down here if we just bring the fuel. Oh, we actually don't even need power, but we will in the future, so I think eventually our steam generation can go here. And when I said don't need power, I mean don't need water. Did I? I don't know. I mean eventually we'll have steam, but currently we don't have steam. So our stupid power can probably just stay up there. And it's going to be very limited. We're also going to need power to come down eventually. I'll bring down the iron first because we're clearly going to need to automate a lot of things with the iron. So I'll worry about the stone later. But yeah, let's just handcraft a good amount. It's always fun consuming an entire belt. We need a lot of that, and we need to bring down the power, so I'm going to try to bring it down correctly for future uses, because I don't want to have to move it later. And that's the bottom. It's not connected. So now I can leave a gap. Something like this. Probably it'd be better if... Whatever. This should be fine. Okay, now we actually have our power down here in the worst possible way. This is the right side. I will put a splitter here so that we can have two belts, just to keep both furnaces in use. Make sure that it's actually balanced at least a little. Now, well, I want to dump my inventory real quick, so I have to walk back up there slowly. I'll probably have to make a stone path at some point. I'd rather use stone brick, I guess, than stone. But the best place to put a path, if this is here, I guess I have to put the path in between. So let's pave. That's okay. I'll probably put stone underneath eventually, but I'd rather it not right now. There we go. At least... No, I think if I'm going to make this a path, let's do it the right way. I'll have that. How far away? Oh, all the way over here. So let's do something like this. 1, 2. That way there's room on either side of the electric poles. But this way, it should be at least a little faster walking down to here. Okay, gotta cut these trees. I mean, I technically don't have to, I don't think. I might. But I'm going to. This seems like a good idea. And let's just dump this into here. Cool. We also still have this line of iron, that's funny. Power is definitely being used. These are definitely being used. Yeah, even these are starting to become a bottleneck. Okay, so we will need more. We could also put fast inserters on the output for when it gets backed up, I guess. Right, I came up here literally to dump my inventory. Control. And just dump. That's good enough. Probably dump the stone too. I think it's faster if I walk diagonally to get here. Nice. We don't need to worry about science. We'll need to worry about electric circuits in a little bit. But the first things first, we really just need, like, belts automated again. Now, am I going to do this in the good way or the stupid way? Well, we have this little section here. And we're going to have... the gap actually might be about this size. So, let's build a little further to this side, just so we have room. We shouldn't need any more smelters, except maybe glass. It may require that we need glass or sand. What do we need glass for? That's a very important question. Is there like a way to even search what is needed? See, is it going to be in this research? If it is, it's in grenades. Glass must have uses. Inserters. If I do need it, it looks like something I can probably add further down on the belt. So I'm going to assume that this is it for now. Did I really put this here? I need 2 gaps so that I can use undergrounds. That's funny. No harm, no foul. No worries. We have basically up to here to work on this. So let's just start it over here so that we know we'll have plenty of room. Now, do I want one of each? If I do, that's going to be a lot of work. Because it's really just a lot of iron going into one place. So there clearly need to be a belt of iron for all of these. These need these belts, and this, they all... So it's just 3 ingredients, basically. If you include gears, if 4. So everything needs iron plates. Then let's say they each have their own cylinder ones, except this doesn't need it. I'll guess I'll make... It's not gonna be good. Yeah, I can handcraft these pretty quickly, I think. I'll just start by automating transport belts again. Ooh, do we have electric? Oh, thank goodness. We didn't have electric assemblers. That'd be sad. Totally forgot that the other one was completely coal-powered assemblers. Oh my goodness. I mean, technically this is also coal-powered. It's just using electricity instead of direct power with combustion. I don't want to use these belts. I don't have enough. Can I make like 2 of these? Jeez. Yeah, I'd almost rather just make them one at a time. Just so that they craft a little faster. Gears, the other one, and the actual belt. Should be essentially all I need. I'll probably want fast inserters for this. Great, now I get to cancel these. I probably could use the Q thing that I have. I already forgot what the button is for it. But let's do something like this. This one, this... Yeah, like, I don't even mind more intermediate ingredients as long as it still has, like, few inputs. Because the annoying thing is when you need, like, 5 lanes to actually give it input. Do this, let's do this, this. It's kind of just like this, isn't it? And if we need more, then we need more. Is anything bottlenecked yet? Let's see. Nope. Looks fine. Yes. But I think that's just a crafting speed bottleneck and not an inserter bottleneck, so it's fine. And we'll just slowly eat away all this iron. But that's good because we have plenty to use anyway. Okay, so that solves one of our problems. We could also do some undergrounds and splitters. So I'd have to sort of just consume off of this. The undergrounds are kind of easy. They do craft pretty quick, though, which means I might run out of these, which means I'd rather add a whole separate facility just for that off of this line. We're definitely going to craft inserters, though. That's another one I need to get done. Guess I don't need that bottom one. Splitters will be fun, too. I don't think I'll need nearly as many undergrounds. Oh, I need one more above this. This is the one I want limited. Okay. Nope. At least these are really simple, so I can't be that upset at it. It's just like a set of steps. And then into the middle here. And now this will draw from both sides, which will help keep the lane balanced. This is producing, this is going in. Now you see we do have an excess of transport belts. Means I could start putting those into splitters. Now, do I have an excess of these too? I do. Okay. So I think what I could do is just something like this. And grab an output here. I guess it could... I'll need an input too, so... Okay, what's the button? It's Alt something. Alt... I don't even want to look. It's fine. I'll just wait. It'd be kind of nice if there were just a physical button here to do it too. Yeah, whatever. I'll uncraft these. Let's craft this. We're probably going to need more of these. Let's just make some. We're not going to need nearly that many splitters. So again, I'll limit it. But we need to grab the iron over there. So I think I'll just do it off the main bus. We'll even out the bus again after. At least for now. I feel like at least for now is kind of the motto of this whole base. I mean, it is the motto of a starter base, I suppose. Okay, so now this is going to end up being bottlenecked pretty hard. Oh, we're out of iron, so... We've reached the problem. Well, either way, this is a ton of progress, and this is somewhat expandable. Let's see, so we have plenty of room for these. I left a ton of room in between, just so there's room for expansion. We'll have to clearly improve all of this. Oh yeah, we're really limited by... We don't have like a real iron miner yet. Alright, so there's still plenty to be done. We still have to tear down most of this mediocre base. But this is definitely coming along. This is starting to look more like a real starter base. So, hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next video.